Happy Hanukkah to everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying the Hanukkah and all the delicious food that's being provided for them for Hanukkah. So I'm just going to have two short thoughts today on what Hanukkah really means, the essence of Hanukkah. One is that we know that the battle that was taking place for the Jewish people against the Greek army was one of difficulty. It was an uphill battle. They were outnumbered. They were outmanned. And yet, somehow they won, which is itself was a great miracle. Part of the miracle of Hanukkah, the celebration, is the victory over the battle itself. And one thing that this battle teaches us is the fact that don't always count yourself out before it's over. If you would think that you're outnumbered, something's not going to work out, even if it's true that on paper it doesn't look great, but you never know. And as the Jewish people fought against the Greek army to take back over Jerusalem and the temple, it was that mindset that they had, even though it didn't make so much sense on paper, but they're fighting for a good reason, for a good cause. And when a person has that mindset, you never know what miracles may happen. And the Jewish people won the war, and that's one of the messages we have, is to never lose hope and never to give up and keep on fighting. But we'll now continue with the singing of Lechadodi, the song we sing Friday night, written by the great Rabbi of Shlomo Alkabetz in the late 1400s. Lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmiyahanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad Ushmaho yachad L'shemo seferes v'lesilah Chad odi l'kras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela L'kras Shabbos l'chuven elcha Ki mekor haberacha meirosh mikedem nesucha Sov ma'aseh b'machshavot chila lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzi mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet b'yemekabacha V'hu yachamol alayichem lalecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisnari me'afar kumi Livshi bigdei sefartei chami Al yad ben yishai beis alachmi Karva el nafshi gi yahala lecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisahoreri Ki v'horechu miyori Ore shir dabering Evod Hashem alayich nigla Lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela V'hayu l'mshisa shahosayich V'rachaku kameh v'halayich Yosis alayich elokayich Kim sozcha sanal kala lecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Yamin u'smal tifrotzi V'yes Hashem taritzi Al yad ben yishai beis alachmi Karva el nafshi gi yala lecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela V'awi b'shalom Atares ba'ala Gam berina ovitzahala Hochemune Yam Segula Ba'vikala Ba'vikala Lecha Dodi Lekras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekabela. We've spoken in the past a little bit about the miracle of the oil, that the Jewish people had one day's worth of oil and they needed to wait a week to procure more oil, and a miracle happened. It lasted 8 days, which is why we light our menorahs for 8 days over the holiday of Hanukkah. What's interesting to note is that the oil itself, it really wasn't just a miracle of 8 days, but it was really a miracle of the world itself, because we know there's different types of liquids in the world. There's water, there's oil, and for some reason water doesn't light, water extinguishes fire, yet oil allows fire to go. And part of the miracle of Hanukkah was to have this realization itself. It's not just about the fact that the oil lit for 8 days, but the fact that oil lights altogether is something which is we take for granted, which we are used to it. If you think about it a little bit, something to note in our minds, because ultimately we have to understand that God controls the world. In the same way God says water should extinguish fire, God could say oil should have fire light and be lit in the world. And that's the way we have to view the world, always in God's lenses, God's eyes, never forgetting that God is here behind us, helping us. He's behind everything that happens. Nothing happens without any reason. We don't know the reasons, but there are reasons behind it. And as long as we trust in God, we can live a happy life, even when things are difficult, even when things are tough. A happy, fulfilling life, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. We're now finished with the singing of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'Chevso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'Haya V'Hoveh V'Yiyeh B'Sifara V'Hu Echad V'Yein Sheni Hamshilo Lehachvira V'Li Reishis V'Li Sachlis V'Lo Ha'od V'Hamizra V'Hu Keli V'Chai Goali V'Tzor Chevli V'Yes Nasa V'Hu Nisi Umanosli Minas Kosi B'Yom Ekra B'Yahado Avkid Ruchi V'Yes Ishan V'Yahira V'Yem Ruchi Gev'Yasi Ado Shemli V'Lo V'Ira. And have a happy and healthy week, a great weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.